I think in a lot of places in Europe and other parts of the world, the word networking has taken on a negative meaning. It's taken on the meaning of getting a bunch of people to help me get a job or get a contract. And I want to come back to the absolute fundamental question: does your net work? And I really mean it. What's the purpose of a net? A net can be a safety net. It can be a fishing net. And that's the notion of a network. Do I have a net of people that when I do make a mistake or when there is a problem or a failure, we catch it. We catch each other.
I think networks are very important to me, and they go in different directions. My networks are both colleagues, other coaches, but also business people, HR people. I have also contacts to thought leaders in the field that I'm working in. So it's very vast, it's global, and it's virtual, and it's face-to-face.
Yeah, well, we know that groups of people who are connected make better decisions than individuals alone. So it doesn't matter how smart you are, what you've accomplished. It's about how you are connected to other people and how those connections can make a difference in the world. So my networks, I like to think, are broad and deep and diverse.
Okay, so I'm learning a lot about networks, and I'm learning about having network perspective, which I didn't have before, because I saw that this large network I have is quite closed. And I realized that it's great that I've been learning so much within CCL and being connected to my colleagues in CCL. But now for the next step in my career or in my development, I need to connect with other groups outside. I'm focusing right now on strengthening relationships.
I think networks are huge. The more people I know, the more people I interact with, the more people I think about. It provides a couple of different things for me. Number one is I get to hear from others what their views are. I get to challenge my own view. My own network, I describe as pretty eclectic. So I have people in my network in all different walks of life, in all different age groups, demographics, and in fact, I don't even think of it as a network, it's just the people I talk to.
So I would describe my network as always changing, always growing, and I do think of them as essential. And I think what I learned from Stan was the importance of connecting people. How do you make the appropriate introductions and not necessarily know where that will go? We talk about the dots connecting backwards in innovation. And so for me, a network is always about an open door, an open relationship, with the idea that we're opening more of those doors by the introductions that we make, in order that things may happen 3, 4, 5 generations later in the relationship that wouldn't have been able to happen otherwise.
Working together is one of the foundational elements is trust. And networks for me is a way to gain immediately a minimum amount of trust with people that I don't know very well. And based on that minimum amount of trust, we can begin to do things together. And we don't need to go through a long and painful time of building up that trust.
We are all in network, whether they are visible or invisible. So my network is pretty wide, and I consciously make it wide.
I would say that network is very, very important for a leader, because leadership does not happen in a vacuum. I mean, if a leader wants to influence someone, you have to be connected with the rest of the world, and therefore the bigger your network, the more opportunities you have.
A network of very genuine, in-depth connections, and this is very, very limited. And I started in my own life, I started with this. Being an introverted person, I preferred a very close circle of people, 3 to 5, not more, in-depth relationships, very sincere, great trust. Would you call it a network? Not exactly.
Also, what I really value about my network, that there's always an open space, a door or maybe a hole where new people can really come in. And some people come and stay, some people maybe go, but I mean, I think it's really the value is the openness.
There's not much you can do alone. To succeed, you need other people, so networks are really important. I would describe my network as global, cross-functional, and with people who are really supportive to each other.
So looking at the picture of my network, at the structure of my network, has been a great wake-up call to me.